Hello. Sorry there now. There we go. That might be a little bit better. It is. How is everybody? I hope you had all a great week. You can hear there's terrible traffic going on here at the moment. Yes. Yes. Was it the day after Patrick's Day, Sheila's Day? I went planting some trees. I got a great donation from Trees on the Land. You can apply to get trees and you give a plan of how you're going to set them and you get the trees. So I've been setting the trees. Yes. And I just had a quick, there's Ninja. Yes. I had a quick look into the field and there was Ninja away from the rest with a little lump next to her. And then there was another lump. And by the time I got into the field, she had three. So we have three beautiful triplets. This is the little girl. Yes. And you can feel they're getting so strong already. So strong so quickly. Yes. So we have a little girl in that lovely, I don't know what you'd call it, that kind of beigey colour. And we have a little man as well, who's very much in that same. Yes. Yes, look at you. Oh, look at that. No, boy. Because I've been feeding with the bottle as well as Ninja. So they're a bit pooey now because of all the, good morning, Miriam. They're a bit pooey because I've been giving them colostrum and they've been getting colostrum off Ninja as well. She's Ninja, you're a star of the show, girl. Look at you. If the light was anyway. But anyway, you're there and you're good. Good girl. When Ninja arrived, she was called Ebony. And I just couldn't get my head around saying Ebony. So she was a little warrior, so I called you Ninja. That's right. Well, you like Ebony, don't you? Ebony. Maybe you do. Yeah, I'd say she's a little bit tired. Because these three devils... Oh, yes, I've only shown you two. The two greys. Give us a second now because your man is asleep over. And you are worn out, I'd say, Ninja. I'd say you are. But I've been, as I say, feeding with the bottle. We're going to go outside for a walk today. Just to get a bit of fresh air. Yeah. And you can get a bit of nice grass. I have a little section stowed away for you. But she is, I'd say, she's very tired now. But hold on a minute. Give me 1 second. Look at this for a handsome devil. Yes. He is gorgeous because he's got the British Alpine colours of his dad. Yes. Well, they've all got a great voice. But he's got a little brown, little tan bits as well. And as I say, they're all a bit pooey, but that's great to see that the poo is going through their system rather than staying inside. That's right. That's right. You're a good girl. I don't know, can you see this now? They're all hanging around looking for bottles and looking for milk. Look at you. Yeah. Oh. They're getting their feet under them, yeah? That's it. And look at this fella now. He's going in for the... Oh, yeah, that's the dirty bottom. But as I say, it's much better to see that because it's going through their system. All the colostrum I gave them. Yes, that's right. And the colostrum they got from you. What are we giving out there? Oh. That's right. That's right. So, yeah, I have to start making decisions now because there's been one or two people asking for kids, and as much as I love having all of them, if you can't look after them properly, you should give them to somebody who can. And I think just with land and food and everything, we'd be better off maybe giving some of the kids A home, yes. That's it. And there's a couple of more on the way as well. You are so gorgeous. And you see, this is this. Sorry, no, I'm more twisting and turning. This thing isn't right at all by me. I think we just hold it like the. I have this thing called a Gambian or something, and I don't know how to use it. It's a bit like the bike. There's Ninja. Good girl. There the boys. Here the girl. Yeah. And I don't think these are going to have horns. The dad is a natural poly, and I think these are as well. That's right. Oh, so yeah, the three of these when they were born, they were very mucousy around the mouth. I had to clear all that. So I was worried about one of them, one of the grey guys. I'm not too sure which one, but they're doing fine now. As I say, the mother is ready for a good sleep. Sorry now. Oh, not going well at all, the technology. Is that any better? Sorry now, guys. I'm too taken up by the kids than the audience. There we go. And put it there. No, look. Now so. And you can stay in my arms for a minute. They're like little Yorkshire Terriers or something. You are. You are compared to Unity. So, good morning, Stephanie. Not at all, your granddad. I've been trying to find a spot for the camera and getting the kids sorted. Yes. So it's great actually because they're kind of semi-fed by the bottle, but semi-fed by the mother as well. Yes, so they're looking for milk from everybody. That's it. That's it. Good girl. We let you down now. There we go. They're getting and the little black fella's gonna. Of course, a lot of the kids when they're born, like in the wild, the mothers just hide them away for a lot of the time while they go off and eat, and then they come back and feed. So that's why these kids, like the black guy's gone away into the corner now, just sound asleep. And this guy, would you sit here? Yes. I'm sorry for disturbing you. I'm sorry. They were born on the 18th of March. Whatever day was that? Thursday. Thursday, a big surprise. A big surprise, Ninja, because I was reckoning around the end of March. And then I had this lovely man out here with a scanner, and he was checking. So he reckoned the first week of April. So I said, geez, that's great. That's everything is out till the 1st of April. I can be getting ready. And last Thursday, out of the blue, there were three lovely kids. There were three lovely kids. So I have a story this morning. And the story this morning is a great story, I think anyway, because during the summers, I usually work with a group called Asana, who teach English to foreign students, and we have great fun. And part of the revelries was a Thursday called the Movable Feast, and it would go around to different pubs, and people would play music and do different things. Oh, look at this! Some fellow's heisting around the place, and I would tell a story once a week, and it was great. And there was a lovely girl there working, Mandy, and a few people had noticed that the bells rang out in the church 5 minutes too soon, I think. Or was it too late? But it was either fast or slow anyway, but it never rang on time. And of course, it was on a record, on a timer. So something must have slipped. But anyway, Mandy, I wouldn't say challenge. Challenge is such a strong word, but said, oh, maybe you could tell the story of why the bells are late tonight at the Movable Feast. So, no better buckle, off I went Mwah. Off I went. Yes, sir. Off I went anyway to figure out a story. You don't like being moved around, sure you don't. You don't. I think I'll have to keep the beard. It is like you could hide inside in it. You could. You could. I'll bring down a bottle later now for the Trevi. We'll all have a sup and give your mum a little break. So I created this story about why the clock is 5 minutes fast in Carsavine. The bells are 5 minutes fast in Carsavine. And it all starts with a woman called Mary. And Mary was a widow and she had 3 children, a daughter and 2 sons. And Mary was very worried about how she'd get on in the world. Would she have money? Would the children have education? And would they move on as well? So she was walking around town, very worried about all this, very anxious. And who should pop out in front of her? Only the devil. And he was trying to make a bargain with Mary that he could do something for her and he would get her soul in return. And she was saying, no, I don't want riches or nice clothes, or I don't want fast cars, or I don't want this and I don't want that. But it came down and he said, I could give your 3 children the best education in the world, and they could very easily become the best in their field at whatever they do. And that really got Mary. She was thinking, do you know, whatever about me I can survive, but it would be great for the 3 children that they would move on. Yes, just like ye. So she was trying, so she agreed. She said, give the children the best education that they can get, and hopefully they'll move on in their field. And at the end, was it 60 years, she had to give her soul to the devil. So time went on, and the daughter became a lawyer, and then she became a barrister, and then she became one of the best barristers in the world. She was unbelievable. She'd stab you in the side with a rusty knife and take out your kidney and sell it on the black market and give you not a penny, but she'd make out that it was in your best interest and great for the community. She could negotiate anything. And the second one was a Monsignor over in Rome, and he was very good as well. He was so pious, it was said that he could call upon any saint you want at any time. He was so close to heaven. And the third fella, Jimmy, he went to school and he went to college and he failed and he went back and he started again and he went over and he couldn't finish this course and he couldn't finish that course, and eventually they all gave up on him. But he got a job selling insurance. And of course, he was more in the pubs in Carsavine than doing anything about insurance. But still in all, he had a little job selling the insurance and he kept all the pubs going in Carsavine. This is sound asleep in my arms now. And that was all right. The 60 years were up. Everybody did so well and they were all happy and everything. Jimmy, of course, stayed at home living with the mother, and the devil arrived. And he said, now, Mary, I've come for my part of the bargain. I've come for your soul. Oh, she said, now look at that, you're coming and 'tis great and everything, but my daughter is one of the best lawyers in America. She is fantastic and she's coming over, and if you could call tomorrow night, she wants to have a word with you. Oh, the devil said, no problem, there's no rush, I know where you are. So the next night he called again, and the barrister was there and she had all her arguments laid out and she'd everything sorted, and she gave up and she was saying about poor Jimmy that he didn't do very well at all, that she was great, one of the greatest barristers that ever walked. Her brother, the Monsignor, was going to be Pope in a few years, or a bishop or a cardinal or whatever, but he was on the fast track up the road as well. But poor old Jimmy, and so the deal wasn't done right, and the devil couldn't take Mary's soul. He said the deal was that they would get the best of education and hopefully they would be the best in their fields. And Jimmy got every chance at a good education, but it was his own fault that he didn't do well. You want to run around, well, if you want to run around, and if you want to stay in my arms, you can. Oh my goodness. So that was all right, and the devil said, no, very well played now, Gaedlian, there with your arguments and everything, but such a great barrister cannot beat me. So Mary said, well, come back tomorrow night because your man is coming over from Rome, the Monsignor, and he'll have a word with you. So that was all right. The next night, the Monsignor came over from Rome and he was all decked out. He had a beautiful gold dress and red slippers like they wear in Rome, the Catholics, the priests and the Monsignors. He looked gorgeous. And he was sitting there all regal. And the devil came up and he said, I call upon you. You have no power here. And you've this and you've that. And the devil said, we made a deal and I've come for her soul. Give me a proper argument why I can't take her soul. When that clock strikes 12, I'm going to take Mary's soul. And he said, no, 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 please, you must have mercy. And the devil said, there is no mercy here. When that clock strikes 12 at midnight, I'm taking your mother's soul. And Mary said, well, that's all right now, Satan, but you haven't given Jimmy a chance. Jimmy wants a word with you tomorrow night. And he said, no problem. I'll have a word with Jimmy. But come tomorrow night, when that clock strikes 12 at midnight, I will take your soul. And that was all right. And Jimmy got up late. He was in McMurt's the night before. And he had a great night and everything. Mary said, do you know what you're going to say to the devil? And he said, Ada, I have an idea of it, really. And she said, well, do you want to practice it in front of me? And he said, Ada, no, it'll be all right in the night. And he went off somewhere else and she couldn't find him anywhere. And she came back again. And then he said to her, Mom, is there a ladder around? A ladder? She said, what do you want a ladder for? Oh, just something now. So he got a ladder and he went off, and 10:30 came. And the barrister stayed around and the Monsignor stayed around to say goodbye to Mary, because when the clock struck 12 at midnight, Mary's soul was going to go with the devil. And that was all right. And it came up to 10 o'clock and there was no sign of Jimmy. And the three of them were inside and they said, sure, Jimmy's going to come. And then the Monsignor said, look, if we can't do it, sure, poor old Jimmy has no chance at all. So Jimmy came in the door at about 11:45 and Mary said, where were you? Oh, he said, I was just doing something now. It'll be all right. Yes, Ro Ninja. Yes. It'll be all right. Don't worry, Mom. Oh, she said, God help us, worry. I gave up worrying about you a long time ago, Seamus, she said. And that was all right. And the devil came in and he said, now, when the clock strikes 12 at midnight, I'm going to take your soul, Mary. And what has Jimmy got to say for himself? Oh, he said, please now, devil, don't take my mother. Oh, he said, don't worry at all. I will take her mother. We struck up a deal and there's no way but I'm going to get it. Well, that was all right. And next thing, the bells started chiming 12 o'clock. And he said, now, the bells are chiming at 12 o'clock. And I'm going to take your mother's soul. Jimmy said, hold on a minute. Look at your watch. And he looked at his watch and it was only 5 to 12. And Jimmy said, you see that now? The bells are chiming, but not at 12 o'clock. That was the deal. And I'm afraid until they actually chime at 12, only then can you take my mother's soul. And from there on in, the bells always rang 5 minutes earlier than they were supposed to. And the devil could never get Mary's soul. And he was always very upset that not law, common sense, or religion could bring down the devil, but an insurance company could always do it because they always win. The insurance companies are probably worse than the devil himself. That's right, Ninja. And that's it. And you're out for an education as well. So there we go. That's the story of the bells of Carsavine. I have it on my YouTube channel as well. This is my YouTube channel, but it's there as well on its own. This fella is sound asleep. I can hear his heart beating away, beating away. That's right, Ninja. And you're going out now for a while? Oh, I'm always now, because Ninja hasn't met the other mothers. The other mother, like Ninja's been with the, so I don't know whether to take her down with the one she's been with all winter, or take her up to the new mammies and babies. So we'll see, Ninja, what happens, because I don't want you upset. And these little fellas. These little fellas. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Hickey. There we go. This fella is sound asleep. And yes, and the shed needs another cleaning out again. And somebody was asking me, what do I do with the... There's a lot of hay here, and there's a lot of poo, and the poo is quite clean actually. It's just in little nibs, little lumps. So I take that to the field and spread that so it'll grow the grass for next year. And I want to set some seeds as well, some flower seeds and different herbs and plants for the goats to affect their milk. Well, not affect it, but just get their milk better. Do you know what I mean? A different taste and stuff like that. That's right. Look at this fella. He's sound asleep. That's it. Ninja has her water now. I don't know if you can... I don't want to disturb anything. Look, the little black fella. The black fella, and he looking into the bucket. Yeah, they take time. They do. They seem to take time. Their turns sleeping. One will go sleep for a while, and one will go. That's it. We're all fine here, Ninja. We're all fine. That's it. So as I say, I'll mix up a bottle of Frisky now, and you'll get the Frisky with the mom, because I'd say having 3. Do you put a blanket on the goats? They don't. They all sleep around the mother. They make a little ring for the blankets of the blanket. But once I get more set up over the year now, and I get electricity and move down here, I'll have heat lamps then, which are fantastic. You know, these little, are they called ultra red or infrared, or the lamps keep them really warm, the bulbs, and they have a little red tinge. So like that'd do them well. But in this weather, they're nice and warm as well, and the mother keeps them nice and cuddled. Oh, look. Yes. However, I tell you, it was great when they were born. When they were born, I moved them out of the field into here, and by God, this black fella gave a fine looking for his mom. As I say, I don't know if you can see it, but he's black and white, but he's got little flecks of tan in there as well. Yes, and you'll get the bottle later as well. You will. That's it. You get them all. That's it, everybody. And Susan was out. You're very welcome, Maureen. And we'll have another one next week, and we'll have a few more during the week as well in the mornings. They're shorter little ones. And I don't know, we'll have a few more kids as well. Oh, look at you. Yeah. Look at you. I'm giving out now because you're getting lost. You're getting lost. I'm not forgetting you at all. Oh, you're on your travels. Do you want to find your mom? That's it. He's gorgeous, the black guy, because the black is really like velvet almost. That's it. Oh, I think they're all moving for mom, aren't they? No, I have a special formula that's like sheep's milk. You can get stuff that are for no names yet, because as I say, I'm thinking there's a few people have said to me they'd like kid goats, and I'm just thinking these would make great pets because they're so small and so lovely. So I'm contacting those people first, because there's more on the way. It's so hard, you know. You just you fall in love with each one, but then there's more coming, and then maybe later on then they become a liability, and you're like, oh, why didn't I? So that's the worst. Well, it's not, it's great. That's the great thing about being 50, is you become practical. You become really, really practical, and you see things in a very different light, and you just kind of go, oh, they need a home now. So I think 1 or 2 or 3 of these might get a home. We'll see. So I haven't given them names yet, but so hard. Oh my goodness, it's very difficult. But then it's better to do it now and be sad, rather than maybe 4 or 5 months down the road having to get rid of them because I don't have enough food for them, or they're breaking out, or something like that. So you just have to be. And it's one of the things I was going to do in this yarn from the barn, before I leave. And that's turning 50 was a fantastic thing for me. I really just loved the idea of turning 50 and cultivating wisdom and kind of going back through the files and looking at things and what I've experienced and stuff, and hopefully sharing that as well. And one of the things I really did learn is probably the biggest lesson I've learned, that if somebody comes to you and they're rushing and they're like, Sean, we need this now, it's really important and you got to do it, and it's like we've only got 2 hours, what I immediately now say is no. Because you get kind of brainwashed into doing things, and often if they're coming to you and there's only a couple of minutes left, you don't have a proper way of examining it and looking to it, you know. So you need to, so again, if somebody comes up and it's like, oh, this is really important, we've only got a little bit of time, it's only going to go, it's going to go. No, forget about it. Because they might have gone on to somebody else first who said no, and they're coming to you in the last few minutes. So again, if there's a very tight deadline, I just say no from now on. I don't trust it, because again, they can get through with a bit of tomfoolery like that as well. They're all in a panic, and it's all, so you have to do this. It's like, no, I don't. And I am learning and looking back in life, there's a lot of mistakes I made and a lot of people I got taken in by who are constantly in that emergency mode. There's always something wrong. There's always a deadline. We need to do this. We need to get it done. And between yourself and the great... Oh, very good. Thank you. I just saw that there, the philosopher John O'Donoghue. And but that is definitely one of the biggest things I've learned in my 50 years. If somebody runs up, if there's a huge emergency, now of course, if somebody's looking for a glass of water because they're choking, that's fine. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say no. But if it's about work, if it's about taking a goat, or if it's about doing something with goats, and it's all this panic, I just say no, because it's not worth it. Because you usually end up agreeing to something that you wouldn't normally agree to. And they're probably doing it in this sense as well, to get something out of you that you wouldn't normally give them, you know. So that's what I'm learning big time. Any emergencies, I'm taking my time and just making sure I'm getting something out of this as well. So we're going to leave it there. I'm going to put my hair into, I think, pigtails. I just got a challenge there on Instagram. The old Instagram was on this morning. And from Bernard Casey, my good friend Bernard Casey. Something for Alzheimer's, but you have to put your hair in, I don't know, do your hair are in buns or something. Is it buns? I think so. So we'll have to see the buns. See how the buns turn out. But before we go now, I don't know if you can see the two the two are drinking away there. That's it. Yeah. Good girl, Ninja. Good girl. So as I say, I'm going to leave him out for a while today. Hopefully there's no craziness or badness. As I say, I'm a worrier. I'm an overthinker all the time. My dad would have had her out yesterday or on the 18th. The minute they'd kidded, he'd have him sorted. But I'm just not like that. And again, that's a great thing, that you know what you're like and you go with it. But it is amazing the way the triplets, well, of course, that's the way they have to do it. 2 drinking and 1 asleep. And they keep swapping around, so there's always 2 drinking and 1 asleep. That's great for them, but not for Ninja. So have a lovely morning. Thank you, Stephanie. And we'll see you next week for Yarn the Barn, but every morning around 8:20. We'll see how these lads are getting on. There's more kids on the way, and we'll see who's going and who's coming and stuff like that. Have a great week, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry about all the movement earlier on, but sure, that's all right too. It's like a bit of Irish dancing. Slán in ish gach duine. Go raibh maith agaibh ar fad. Slán.